What's up, everybody, and welcome back to DMP's The Caucus Challenge, Season 19, Unfinished Business, The Recap. We are recapping Episode 7. The season is starting to pick up. We just had another double elimination. We had some champs come into the game and play to earn a spot. And it was announced that the cast has officially made it to the halfway mark. So, tonight we have a couple of guests here with us. We have Amir. How are you tonight, Amir? We have T. Hey T, what's up? How are you?
What's going on?
We've got Nate. What's up, Nate?
How you doing, man?
We've got Clay walking around.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
And last but finally not least, Janice. Welcome back. How are
Hi.
you?
Doing great.
So, we're going to hop right into this episode. We left off on a cliffhanger with Clay and T winning the first daily of day 2. The format has changed. You two were paired. You guys convinced some of the house, majority of the house, the whole house to give you the competition. And you guys are going into this week, having to make a decision. Clay and T, tell us a little bit about your deliberation before going down there and making a decision. I know there was a lot of footage that wasn't shown. I know production was telling me that you guys were going back and forth for a while before you guys came down to make your decision. So what was that like, and is there anything specific we didn't see? And we'll start with Clay.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of back and forth. I think that going down there, I don't even know if we had a set answer going down there. Like, I feel like even on our way down, we're both like, okay, what's about to happen because we don't know. And that's not because we were like just not agreeing. It's also because we were like going back and forth and trying to figure out the best thing. And I feel like we both kind of went into it thinking, okay, we're gonna get what we want, or of some way, because T is so good at what she does, and I'm good at what I do. So we kind of both went in confident, and then trying to negotiate and figure out was not easy at all. So I definitely think some footage was missed with our conversation. I think from my point, I just tried to kind of explain like how I feel the challenge works in regards to the difference with Survivor. And I do feel like, on the episode you hear T saying like, oh, she takes it in, but and she gets it, she just didn't want to work with me. And I totally like feel like that's not a bad thing. I think she was understanding what I was saying. But just because I was telling her that doesn't mean we're gonna be working together for the rest of the game.
T, what are your opinions?
Yeah, I don't have any, I don't know if you do, Clay, but I don't have any recollection of how we ended up together. Jay West actually asked me that at one point, and I was like, I honestly don't remember how we ended up together. So if you do, let me know.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't remember how we like just decided to be partnered. I do know that once we saw our group, that's how we decided to throw it. Like, we kind of figured, everyone figured that we would probably have the best chance of winning in the last round, as well as winning both the rounds to have the most points for our group.
Yeah, that definitely, it didn't take a lot of effort to get people to throw it to us. I think Clay has, like Clay said, he has things that, he's known for. I have things I'm known for. People respect us based on the games we play. We might be very different, but I think we do have respect of people. And so it was easy to make that happen. But there was definitely a lot of missed footage. I am not somebody who wants to be told what to do, and Clay is clearly not somebody who wants to be told what to do, but we are both people who are probably used to going in and telling people what to do because we are used to having power, and being people that other people will listen to. So you're putting two pretty similar, I would say, players um, together with two very different mentalities of where they want to go from here. So it wasn't going to be easy because it was very clear that neither of us were going to back down. The The only difference between Clay and I is I'm a Survivor player, and in Survivor, you never, ever, 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 ever put yourself into anything ever. And in the challenge, you do. So that's, I think, the biggest difference that Clay and I were dealing with in that situation, because I don't know, maybe if I was a little bit more of a challenge player, I would have been more willing to rock with what Clay was looking for. But that's just not how we're raised in the Survivor world.
So before we do move it on, we do have a couple of people in the live chat. So we have Rookie Xavier. He says hi. Rachel says hi. Zay says a bunch of badass competitors. Rookie Xavier also says, Janice, tell Jersey to chill. And then we also have Jay West in here, which I do want to address because it's the second time we've seen the comment. Why is Clay a bully this season? Clay, if you want to answer that, do you think you're a bully? Why are you a bully, etc.?
I don't think I'm ever a bully, first of all. Second of all, I would love to see why he thinks I'm about a bully. Third of all, yes, Jersey is a bad dog. We all know that.
Watch yourself.
But I don't know why I'm a bully. I would love to hear the reasoning behind that, or if any of you in here feel like I'm a bully, I would love for you to tell me why. But I don't feel like I was a bully.
Let's see. No one answered. Does anybody want to chime in?
No, I don't think you're a bully. I don't think he's a bully. If I thought that, I would say that. Like bully, I think that's a heavy label to put on somebody. Like I don't want to because that's not actually. I don't know. Like there's game and there's other things. I don't think he's a bully. I just think that Clay is very, for lack of better words, passionate about this game, and I think that it can sometimes get angry, passionate, but and maybe just not bully, but in a way that might rub people the wrong way. But I definitely don't think he's a bully. No, not at all. I wouldn't say that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely an intense competitor. I'm definitely I'm very confident going in. I'm very I'm good with I'm confident with the game. But I feel like on a personal level, I don't feel like I'm a bully. I feel like I actually, if I see people being bullied or teamed up on or feeling left out, I feel like I actually usually will talk to that person or try to make them feel more comfortable. So I feel like if anything, I'm against bullying and the opposite of a bully.
Maybe he was joking. Maybe Jay West was joking. I don't know. But yeah, I don't think he's a bully.
I definitely think
he said it twice though. So I let it go the first time, and now this is the second time.
I think for sure Clay is definitely an intense player. I think he's not gonna. I don't think anybody really was a bully this season or in past seasons. I just think not everybody's gonna get along, and certain people are tougher personalities than others. But I will say I can give Clay his props that at least from my experiences with him, I have seen when the game's done or he will check in on people even if he's not working with them. Things like that, and I witnessed it in the past and present as well. Jay West said he did add. Oh, sorry, Janice, what happened?
I said he only bullies Jersey.
Only dogs.
Yeah, dogs. I don't like dogs, and they're bad. They're all bad.
Jay West said I did add LOL. I'm joking. And wanted a response from Clay. So, all right. So we move on and we get downstairs and it's time for deliberation. Now, the talk was either Rachel and Xavier or Amir and Jordan. Amir, you instantly call it out. You're like, listen, let's cut the chase. Let's get straight to it. I know it's me. Let's handle it. How did you hear about this? What were the conversations? And why did you just willingly be like, screw it, vote me in, I'm ready?
Well, as a Survivor player, I know that when people aren't talking to you, then it's probably going to be you. I didn't really have many conversations all the way up until all game. I had been looped into conversations. People weren't necessarily giving me treasure, how you say, treasure chests of information, but people were definitely looping me into things. That was the first time where I did not know what was happening, so I figured it was me, especially after what had potentially happened the round before. And then Jordan, y'all didn't see this part, but Jordan walked up to me and said, Amir, I need you to talk to people. I figured that I don't know. I thought things would be better, but then Jordan said, I need you to talk to people. And then I finally got into the basement And I asked Kim, I was like, is it me? And then Kim was like, pretty much. So at that point, I was like, okay, if it's going to be me, then I have nothing to lose because, why beat around the bush? And honestly, like, I don't care what anyone says. People wait until the season is over to try to act like, oh, I'm like this big, like strategic person. I made a move and I felt like doing it when I wanted to do it. No, people are very scared in the actual game, and people were waiting for one person to talk before the other person because they were scared to be the first person to speak in case it turned on them. So the only thing that that annoys me is like when people like. I've been called a confessional gangster, right? It doesn't make sense. Like when you are in your confessional pretending to be like this super strategist that wasn't afraid to make moves. But like when we were all standing down there waiting for deliberation, waiting for deliberation, people are like just jumping around and being around the bush.
So we end up seeing a couple of people talk and speak up in deliberation. We have a Lachey versus Rachel moment where Rachel says certain people are floating. And then we also see Amir saying basically like, I'm going to go in. I'm ready. I'm prepared. The House ends up voting for Amir and Jordan. But within those votes, Cope is struggling to vote against you. Certain people are saying that it's a hard game decision. So Amir, watching it back, now that you're going into this elimination, I know you said in your confessional, like you wish you didn't send Steven out. Do you regret that decision? Do you think that watching it now full circle, it was a good or bad move for you? And like, how do you feel seeing Paddock, Jerica, Cope, all those people that said we support you, we have your back, instantly turn on you?
Yeah. So I fully recognize it was a terrible move and like a very fatal move to my game. Like I believe them in saying that like I believe most of them in saying that like I would have been fine had I not done that. Like I don't know. I just think like I fully realized it was a bad move, but at the same time, like when I was making that decision, I was in a position. I was at a point where I wanted to feel like I was taking the game into my own hands. All the way up until that point, I had been like kind of told what to do, or kind of just like added as a number or like an extra person instead of like having agency in the game myself. So at that point, I was like, how do I, Amir, build agency or like a clear path forward? I didn't realize, or I underestimated how like personal X would take it, not personal like a serious way, but like I didn't realize how much of a vendetta X would have after I did that. I thought that like having worked together that entire time and like having been close and had such a full circle moment, I thought that like we could just like have that conversation. I could explain myself and move forward. But he took it as like something much more serious, and I feel like they were probably coming after me eventually anyway. But like I gave them a reason to come after me, and I shouldn't have given them a reason to come after me. But nobody like. But then again, like. I get that Xavier won, and I should have just did what he wanted to do because like he won that thing. But like when I think back on it, like Parker was a rookie and we'd been playing the rookie game the whole time. Now, like, why is it a problem all of a sudden that like we're taking out another rookie when we've been playing the rookie game the whole time? That part I didn't get. And it was just like people only bring up the rookie thing when it's convenient for them and to try to like make themselves seem loyal when it's not that at all. Because I mean, I don't understand what people's problem is with Steven or Cope, whatever, but it was a rookie game all the way until people didn't want it to be a rookie game anymore. Like at the end of the day, I fully recognize that I made the worst possible decision I could have. I think that I even would have found more longevity in keeping Steven over Colbert, because then maybe I would have like Steven, I think, had a lot more allies than I realized, but also like people hate Steven. I think people dislike Steven a lot more than they dislike me, and probably would have thrown him in before me, or like maybe Paddock's people would have had my back. I don't know what would have happened, but yeah. I made a decision.
So I see you guys nodding your head or agreeing, disagreeing. I want to hear your guys' opinion on the deliberation, Amir's moves, and the consequence of like Cope and all of them voting against him. I also want to ask, just in general, as besides T, you're all vets. You've played at least once. I know the topic is like there's a whole topic of like Amir doesn't have the capital agency, or like he doesn't have people that want to work with him, or even right now, correct me if I'm wrong, Amir, but just going based off what you said, like he feels like people don't like Steven more than they don't like him. What is the constant like targeting Nymir? Do you like? I just want to know your guys' opinion and where that comes from, and is it like a personal thing or is it a game thing, etc. And
for the record, before anyone says anything, I still think that. Like, I still think that it's a social capital. Like, I just don't have the social capital other people who I have. I realized that I made a bad move, but at the same time, like, there was a season 17 alliance that I think Cam never told X about, but then X is like in the comments, like saying, "Oh, the big three, Zayets and Cam, the big three," but they like both lied to you too. But like, it's not the same sort of energy. It's just like people just pick and choose when they like want to pile on something, because I've been piled on, right? So it's like that's easier to do than to pile onto someone who hasn't had that before. That's why it feels that way, and I still stand by that.
Yeah. So T, let's start with you.
I still don't know why you got rid of. I still to this day am confused as to why you got rid of Steven. That was like a what the fuck did he just do? I don't understand it. Culp, I love Culp as a listen, I love everybody as people. And I think that one of the things that I really struggle with in the challenge world is people take things very personally. And to me, like, I'm very like in the Survivor world, I'm here, because we've played together and we've fucking gone at each other. Like, charge it to the game, bro. At the end of the day, I'll come at you 100%. Like, Clay, it might seem like bullying on TV, but like, I respect that, because if I was in Clay's position, I would also be trying to like wear someone down until they do what I want, because it's the game, right? And so like, I love everybody personally, but Culp, I've never seen Culp be a good alliance member to anybody. Well, meanwhile, I've played with Steven 100 times, fucked over Steven 100 times, and every time Steven still wants to try and ride with me. So like, and I've played a game with you and Steven, and I've seen how Steven has worked with you. So I was blown away by you getting rid of Steven, and I feel like
he's backstage before.
I never really got past trying to understand that.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. Like, you do what you got to do for your game. Like, and it's clear from what you see X do throughout this whole season that like X is a little, like, people want to say you're a crybaby. Like, X is a little bit of a fucking crybaby, and like will cry when he doesn't get his way and when he doesn't like how it's going. And in this situation, you had to do what you wanted to do, and X is going to be a crybaby about it. And unfortunately, you had to deal with the consequences of that.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't feel like the bad guy for doing what, like, that's what's crazy to me about this game is at the end of the day, most people on this screen included would do what they have to do for their game first.
Yeah.
And so you did that, and I respect that, Amir, even though it didn't work out for you in the long run.
Yeah, I appreciate hearing that. And like 2 recaps ago, I was like beating myself up, but like, no, I stand by everything I said. Like, people, like, again, I've said it before and I'll say it again, like, it's a really hypocritical group here. The group think is crazy. Like, the group think is crazy. Like, if several people think that, then that's what other people want to do, because that's just what's popular in that moment. I fully recognize that I should not have done Steven, but Steven has backstabbed me twice before in Survivor games. When in Collision, when he played with his girlfriend in Collision, I was out and stranded, gonzo, right? Lied to me several times, like, in that thing, right? But where I'm coming from with the Steven thing is like, this season of Caucus, Dre has said it, several people have said it, this is my best performance, like, strategically, like, physically, everything I've been doing, I did a really good job. Like, I'm not really, obviously my eliminations aren't terrible, but I did a good job in other aspects. And the entire time I felt I could see the end when I was playing the game. Like, I could see myself making it further. But as I was playing the game, every other conversation I was having was like, oh, how close are you with Steven? Are you going to do this to Steven? Steven, to the point where it became to a point where it was like he was becoming sort of liability. And I didn't know if I could move forward. And I was doing that from a logical point. But then when I was doing a cope thing that was like emotional, I just have to find a balance between head and heart, I think.
So, and yes, to point out what X keeps saying about you appreciate backstabbing. Yes, I do. Like, I'm playing a game where only 1, 2, maybe 3 people win. So like, if you got a backstab to win, yeah, I'll back you 100%. That's like, again, that's what's been crazy to me about the challenge. Like, when May had her feeling of like, I would have thrown myself in for T. Like, girl, would you have really? And honestly, I wouldn't have wanted you to. Like, that's why me and Paddock rock so hard, because Paddock's thrown me in, I've thrown Paddock in, but you know what? I would never want Paddock.
Understanding.
I would never want Paddock to throw her own game out for me.
Yeah, and it's like I think it's a survivor player in both of us because there's just an understanding. Like when you play a game, and that's it. But I think like my flaw in this challenge, in the caucus challenge, is the fact that I keep coming into this game with like operating under that mindset, but because my survivor experience overwhelms everything else, I keep making those mistakes. I have to just figure it out. But yeah, I just always operate under the mindset that like T, that you're just going to be an understanding. I could do this thing, we move forward, and whatever, instead of taking it personally.
I want to hear a little bit from Janice and Nate. Opinions on the backstabbing, the watching the deliberation, Imir's game, etc. Let's hear from Janice first.
So I've never played with Ymir. This would have been my first time playing with Ymir. And we just happened to come and go at the same time. But watching seasons that he's been on, I know you play a very passionate game. And the challenge is kind of a place where, and I know this is crazy coming from me because I cry all the time, but the challenge is really a place where you don't want to let your emotions impact the game so much. And that's great about you, that you wear your emotions on your sleeve. And but in the game setting, I feel like people take emotions for weakness. And that's probably what deters people from working with you. But you shouldn't have to change who you are or how you play in order to fit into other people's agendas. And like you said, it really is just a social capital thing. I think that you made the decision that was best for you, and any one of us would have done the same thing. Whatever will benefit your game in the long run is what you should do. Don't let anyone try to influence you. Don't let anyone try to corner you into playing their game, because it's not going to do anything to benefit you. Like you're ultimately just helping. If you were to choose what X wanted you to do, that who's to say that he would have not still have turned the vote on you? You could have been very last on their totem pole, and it was just your turn. And so it's really just like it's so easy because of this decision you made for them to say, oh well, you're going in because of this.
Convenient.
But it could have just been your turn, regardless. So I don't know, play your game. I think that if you were to have made that decision and you just happened to have more allies in the game at that time, it would have been a different situation. But it's just the way it played out, that they had the bigger alliance, and that's where the vote went.
And I think people were too scared to do something else, and I think that's what it was. But people call me scared. Yeah.
A challenge is a game where you don't really want to be the outlier. You don't want to make too many ripples. And so sometimes you just have to go with the pack to keep yourself safe. And ultimately it just fell down to you.
Nate, tell me a little bit about your POV with all this. You've been pretty under the radar up until right now. And, Ymir has the spotlight on him. You end up, we're going to get there, but you end up having to go in as well. What are your thoughts on the gameplay, the strategy, seeing everything on these episodes? Is Nate there?
Frozen? I think he's frozen.
All right. Well, if you could hear us, Nate, rejoin, and then you could answer the question. Oh, it says he entered. So let's see.
How do I?
There we go.
Can you ask me again?
Yeah, we could hear you, Nate.
Can you ask me again?
Yeah, so I asked, you've been flying under the radar so far, all this deliberation, the decisions of the purge, Ymir being targeted, you end up having to go against him. We're eventually going to talk about the elimination, but watching the episodes and seeing the gameplay and the decisions, this is your second time playing as a vet. How do you feel about like the alliances and all the game decisions and everything you've been watching in the past 7 episodes?
I feel pretty good where I'm at. I'm gonna get to Ymir, but I feel pretty good where I'm at. Like the way I like to play these games is if I give my allegiance to somebody, that's kind of who I'm riding with throughout the whole thing. When I played on 17, I was just sticking with Jason because I didn't know none of the other guys. And this time around, we had the Cooking Cousins. So I really wasn't too focused on trying to make too many other allies because I don't like spread myself super wide, having everybody think I'm with them because I don't want to backstab nobody at the end of the day. I feel like I could win this game without having to do that. So as far as our mirror goes, it's nothing personal. I'm sure it's nothing personal from nobody in the house. Like when the cameras is off, we all get lit. We all have a good time. Like nobody dislikes you. It's just I don't think you think out some of your moves, and when it comes back at you, then it's like everybody's targeting me. When I don't think that's necessarily the case. I feel like if you was gonna do the best move for you, it should have been Steven. Like I don't know your personal like relationship with Cope, but from the outside looking in, it seemed like Steven was your best bet. So if you're gonna go against the house, then you should have picked your number one ally.
Am I supposed to respond to that? You want me to respond?
If you want it, if you have anything you wanted to say.
No, I get it, but like I was just, and that in the moment, it just felt best to me. Also, Cope and I had like really good like one-on-one conversations. I don't know if it's like Steven just doesn't have like the emotional capacity to like really just like have a heart-to-heart with some people, and maybe that was why. But me and Cope at that moment, like I said, I was operating with my heart over my head, like really connected, and he like checked in on me a lot. So that's where that came from. But as far as like I understand, I don't think that people dislike me on a personal level, but I just like on a super personal level, it feels personal, but I don't think that people like dislike me on a personal level. It gets to a point where like it just people like I feel are quicker to jump on me about things than it is other things. It's not the fact one like I can take a game move all day, but then like I've been saying, things turn personal with me really quickly. Maybe because they don't have things to say on other people or don't have things on those people, but things just seem like they turn like quickly on me. But that's it. I don't know.
So Clay, we'll wrap the deliberation part up with you as someone who, has gone, you and Amir have the few seasons that you guys have played together, have been on opposite sides. Tell me a little bit about your POV, about the deliberation, the game moves, everything that's going on, and all the topics that we've just talked about with him this past minute.
Okay, I'm gonna try to get all of it done in, but as to his decision to take Cope over Steven, for him personally, like I don't always do what you think is gonna be best for you. Like that, I feel like we don't know his relationship with Steven, we don't know his relationship with Cope, we don't know, so as much as it's like, oh, you should have took Steven, like, why should you have took Steven? Because we told you to do that? Well, that's the consequences. You didn't do what the person in power told you to do, which is totally fine. You don't have to do what someone says. But if they get that power, then you're going to be you're going to have to face the consequences. On the flip side, if Cope would have won the next one, Ymir probably would have been good. So, every decision you make, is going to have the consequences. So, whereas like, I do feel like Ymir doesn't have any solid allies, but I feel like that's on Ymir. I don't feel like that's on everybody else. I feel like that's on Ymir. I feel like, or it's on the people that Ymir is putting trust within or working with, because like for me, I linked up with a group of people. We worked together. It worked well. So then now we are allies. Why don't you have that? Well, because either you're not loyal to them, where they trust, or they feel like they can work with you all the way, or they're not loyal to you and you can't work with them. Something like that is where it's messing up, because you should be able to work with someone, build that trust, and then that should be your ally from then on, unless something happens. And see something can happen.
I had allies. Well, there was a Bodegas Alliance coming into the game. There was a season 7. Like I was a part of conversations. Just people just do things when it's convenient for them. And then whatever the nonsense that the Cookie Cousins was, like that was just like complete nonsense. So, and an alliance that didn't even like work out. It was kind of,
Can I chime in?
No, I'm gonna let you talk. But I'm just saying, like, what. Here's what I've been wanting to get off my chest. I'm waiting to say this, right? I was not part of the Cooking Cousins, from my understanding, because I'm deemed a liability, right? Who ended up being the real, and I love her to death, who ended up, because of her poor strategy, being the real liability to that alliance? Rhea, who got herself and Jordan eliminated because she decided to throw a challenge out of a purge, right? It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand. Like, I just think that understanding of strategy is a lot different than other people's understanding of strategy. Zay a couple weeks ago was saying that like had he remembered that I popped his balloon, then he would have like not have said my name or whatever. But I don't understand, like just like Lachey was saying, like you're not going to save anybody else above yourself. It doesn't make any sense. So I just think like some people like just pick and choose when they want to say certain things, and like whatever the strategy, like my understanding of strategy is way different from a lot of other people's understanding of strategy. And I was just trying to do what was best for me.
Nate, I'm going to let you chime in, and then I'm going to wrap it up and say something about this part.
What I was going to say about the Cooking Cousins was, in my opinion, it was working. Cam, everybody deemed Cam as the one that was running the house, even though nobody was ever throwing him in. We only lost Tori because he got hurt. Jordan and Rhea got purged out, and Jordan only went into elimination because of you. So nobody was targeting anybody.
If she had stronger relationships, she wouldn't have gone. I'm sure she probably wouldn't have gone if she had stronger.
I'm saying you was the anchor of that.
She got no. She got no. I'm not. You're my boy. I'm not like my passion. Don't take this the wrong way. But didn't she get into an argument with Rhea and Jordan that same day, because then she started crying? Wasn't she crying or something like that? So Was it working? No, it wasn't working. Y'all didn't trust each other because she was crying and going back and forth saying, "Ooh, like I don't why is she talking to me like that? Why is she talking like no? Let's not blame. Don't blame that on me. That was a Nets thing. I was waiting for somebody to come on here and blame that on me. Okay, yes, we were partners, yes, whatever, but you're not going to blame that on me, because if she had truly strong allies, then they would have like really stuck their neck out for her and dealt with me later. But nobody, they didn't mind. So she was expendable to that alliance just as much as anybody else, right? Like,
let me ask you a question. Amir, if Jordan was with, let's say, X, you think she'd have won it?
No, probably not. But that's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is if she can also blame herself, because if she had truly strong allies or whatever, or people then they would have stuck her neck out for her. People hate me that much. People wanted me out the game that much to the point where they were willing to take her out too. No, that's not. I don't like. But y'all saying it's not personal. I don't like. That doesn't make sense. I don't think that I'm solely the reason that she went in, if that makes sense. People were saying that it's because I was tied to her. But I think that the true reason, and I'm psychoanalyzing, so just take this for what it's worth. I think that the true reason is that people were scared to say something else. It was like, I think at that point, because of what I had did, I was like the easy person to throw in at that point, because it's like easy to point at me. Because of what I had done, is just like, okay, he's an easy vote. I made myself, my poor strategy made me an easy vote, right? But at the same time, if Jordan had strong, true allies and people to stick their neck out for her, if the Cooking Cousins was really for it, then that wouldn't have happened. Right. And I thought the whole point of the Cooking Cousins was like Black unity and Black togetherness, but like I wasn't part of that, even though I'm Black Boy Joy and I'm actually wearing this shirt right now. Like, that doesn't make sense.
I mean, you got to separate what we deem as a good alliance as you taking a personal shot out of it. And that's not what we was trying to do.
But that's not
we wanted it to be a Black person alliance. Yes. But we also wanted to get as far as we could. We did not think, me personally, I can't speak for nobody else. Me personally, I didn't think that you would have been a good asset to that group.
But had I been in an alliance or not, whatever, had I been in an alliance, it still wouldn't have worked out, it seems like, because Jordan and what's her name got eliminated. Right? Jordan and Rhea got eliminated. That was a
purge. We can't anticipate a purge.
That was a lame move. We would have won that challenge. I look back at it. We would have won that challenge.
So I'm gonna chime in real quick just to touch base on certain things. So for the first thing was I'm kind of playing devil's advocate with all of you guys, and I see all of the sides with it, because I agree with Clay, Amir, why I feel like we're looking at like the Clays and the Xaviers and the Cams, right? But like, why are your allies, like the Paddock, the Colt, the Jerica, they said they were gonna have your back, they didn't, right? So, and again, this season, I feel like, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was a lot of space and opportunity for you guys to vote people in regardless, because you didn't have to vote with your partners. Therefore, if Paddock, Jerica, Colt, Amir, Jordan, even Nate wanted to do the rookies, why weren't the rookies said? And that's where I think Amir's right, where it's like, if Jordan had stronger alliances and they, like the same way like a Cam does or a Clay does, she would not go in, because I do think, and again, I love all of you guys on a personal level. I do think the reason was Amir, but I do also think that Amir saying she was expendable is also true. I think He's with Amir, who's now someone that can't be trusted, can't stand on his word, went against the big core alliance, and now she's also expendable. I also do think with the cooking cousins, I think, again, I could see where Amir can be unreliable, not a good asset, where you guys see that from like his game decisions. But we got to call out Rhea and Jordan because they, like, I know you're saying it was a purge what we could have done. They should have never threw that. They should have never given the rookies anything. Like, you guys had the cooking cousins had the potential to run that game, and you guys were, and you guys would have if that didn't happen. But I think once the cleanse happened, you guys fell apart. Will the remainder of you, Cam, Lachey, will you guys be able to regroup and band together? Possibly. Who knows? No spoilers. But as of right now in the game, them throwing that challenge, getting purged out, and then Amir going against his word, you guys were disbanded at that point. There was no more, because even if that was the case, you guys, in my opinion, wouldn't have thrown Jordan. There was a clear option of Xavier and Rachel, and nobody listened to it. Nobody went with it. But again, even with what Clay said, like, Amir, you're not like if you're going to go against the house, you need to make sure you have the people to back you, because the same people that were hyping you up outside saying we got you went inside and didn't fight not one word.
Not at all. Which I recognize even more that it was a stupid, dumb, idiotic move on my part for my own game. Very fatal to do that, yes. But we're not going to sit here and say that like I'm solely the reason that Jordan was out of the game, because she got into arguments way before that even happened. There was conflict before anything, right? So like,
yeah, there was only conflict though because she didn't throw it like they wanted her to. That was the conflict.
Exactly.
They were working
for
fine
strategy
without it. Yeah, and I'm not saying they're great players. They're all out. I'm not saying they're great players. I'm saying that doesn't change anything though. Everyone, when they voted, they said it was because of you. So that's like, take that and say, okay, why was it because of me? Oh, because I made this move. Like, not everything has to be deflected or it was because of you. If Jordan was with someone else, she probably wouldn't have gone in. Like, whoever you were with was probably going in, unless it was one of my people, then you probably weren't going in because
she
we
had
the power.
Because they had that allyship or that connection.
Yes, but it can be both. It can be both things.
If I was paired with
she didn't have strong enough alliances, but you also were the reason. Like,
but
the first thing they looked for was, where is Amir? That's what the first thing they looked for. Where is Amir and who is he with? Okay, then they looked at, okay, he's with Jordan. I don't care about saving her. I'm okay with it. Both things are true. But what we're saying is you were the reason,
and
she was not a big enough counterpart to erase that reason.
I partially agree with you. I'm saying I'm not, but like I think that she's trying to make herself feel better about her game by blaming it solely on me, when she could have done a better job with strengthening her allies and her allyship. That's the problem that I have. And the confessionals that I saw making it seem like, oh, Amir. I didn't want to make Amir my partner in the first place. You could have fought a little bit harder if you didn't want to be your partner, but she didn't fight that hard enough. In that moment, what we're not going to do is make it seem like it was solely me. You could have also done things and changed things along the way as well.
Yeah, but in the episode and the confessionals, everyone is also saying, I'm doing this because of Amir. So yes, could there be another reason? Yes, but that is what they're saying. So that's what she's gonna feel. That's what
I hear you.
So that's kind of where it's coming from. Like, I get what you're doing, but sometimes you just need to let it take it and be like, okay, that's what they said. That's what it was. Like, not everything has to be so analyzed and so debated. Like, take it and be like, okay, I get it. Like, I made this move. Again, like I said, if someone else would have won, or if it would have gone a different way, maybe it wouldn't have been you. But that's the way it went. And that's what they said. They said, I'm voting Amir because of this, or I want to vote this group because of Amir.
I get it. And I hear you. I 100% get you.
Cool. So I do want to address, we will touch back on, I think there's an underlying storyline between Clay, Nate, Amir, because you all played 17 together. Clay, you were in power. Amir, Nate, you guys won. We will touch back on that. But I do want to talk to Janice a little bit before she has to go. Janice, you are stepping onto the field since season 16. The last time we saw you, you ran a final. You got third place. You were not happy with your performance. You said it yourself. You never thought you'd be back. The nerves were taking over, and we're about to see you compete in an elimination for the first time in a long time. And the last time you played elimination, it was this exact one, and you lost it right before the final. Tell me a little bit about everything that was going into your mind, like on your mind, when you walked on the field, the preparation you had when you got the call, like what was going on, and how did you end up back on our screens?
I ask myself that all the time. I really wasn't expecting to come back. Like I said, I went out, yeah, I made it to the final, but if you're not first, you're last. And that's just kind of how I feel. I wasn't happy with my performance during Double Trouble. It was definitely not my best moment. And I was just drained. But since season 16, I really started putting more of a focus on my health physically. So I was running, I was going to the gym, just trying to be more proactive. And I think that's definitely what helped play a role in me even wanting to come back, just building myself up. So I think if I wasn't to make those lifestyle changes, I probably would have said no for sure. So I felt slightly more prepared going in, but I was coming in for an elimination. And if you know me, you know that I do not take comfort in being in elimination. My goal is to never touch elimination. You will never ever hear me speak the words, go earn your stripes, because I know that I'm a badass and it's hard for people to beat me because I win dailies. That's how I earn my stripes. I'm a champ. I've earned my stripes in my respect in different ways. I don't think I have to go into elimination, so I try to avoid it as much as possible. So coming in for an elimination, and it just happens to be the only elimination that I've done and I've lost, it was, I guess, suiting for the theme, unfinished business. But my stomach was in knots before came out on the field. I was literally in the house having a panic attack. Production was trying to talk me out of my own head, trying to get me out there. I was freaking out.
I completely
Because
forgot about that. You were having a panic attack.
Yeah, I was literally locked in the production room crying my eyes out, and all of production had to come in and give me individual pep talks because the anxiety was through the roof. I was having a tough summer, and it was just so much going on in my head that was pulling me away from the game. And on top of it, I knew it was going to be a tough ride. The level of competition just keeps getting better every season. And I knew that regardless of who I was going to be opposing, they were going to be tough competition for me. And it was nerve-wracking. But I think ultimately my want to not lose, or I guess my ego, that's really what powers me through these kind of situations. So I think once I'm on the field, the competitive version of me comes out and I just lock in. And that's what happened.
Yeah, I think, well, congratulations for making it back into the game, redeeming yourself. I think your unfinished business arc is now officially started. But before I let you go, because I know you do have to go, if there, like, what was that elimination like? Like the heat, the May as a competitor, officially getting into the game, where do you go from now? And how do you, insert yourself in this game, and what should we expect without any spoilers moving forward?
That elimination was brutal. It is so draining. It's watching the episode doesn't know justice for how long we were out there. It felt like hours. In the beatings, like we're in the middle of an open field. There's no trees, no shade in sight. Like you're just getting beat on by this sun in the middle of summer, and you're literally having to run and wrestle people in the dirt. I literally still have scars on my chest from that elimination specifically. And May is a badass. May is proven to be one of the toughest rookies of the season, and I really give her props. And I really was not expecting to win. I think that May had an advantage. I mentioned it before. Like at that time, I was probably like 105 pounds, like maybe like 110. But I'm small. I'm the leader of the itty bitties. Like that. That's me. And I think also mentally knowing I've lost this before, I was not expecting the win. And really give May her props. She put up a tough fight, but I think that once I started getting tired, I was getting angry, and I think that's kind of what fueled me more, because now I'm hot, now I'm grumpy, now I have someone picking me up, and I don't like when people try to use my size against me. And I mentioned it in the my confessionals, like that will light a fire in me in itself. Like, you're trying to pick me up, okay, bet. Now I'm gonna show you that you can pick me up all you want, but you gotta outrun me, or you gotta be able to hold me back. And so yeah, it was brutal. May put up a fight, but ultimately I had to show why I'm a champ.
Right. So you're officially in the game. You haven't seen, I know you made a comment in the group chat like postseason, like, oh, well, I didn't know all this was going on, all that. So how do you, before you go, how do you insert yourself in this game? How do you think, like, where do you place yourself? How do you get to this final? And who, as a viewer, as a person, as a player, who are you enjoying this season? Who is your least favorite? And then you can hop off if you need to, or you can chat with us a little longer.
So I know there was chatter in the house about how, like, oh, she's coming in at like the perfect timing. Like, it's so convenient. Janice is coming in day 2. She got to avoid all of day 1. Yes, that's true. But I think people kind of neglect the fact that I came in alone. Yes, like Mike didn't make it into the game. Mike would have been one of my closest allies. We've won together. We've played so many seasons together. He's one of the only people that I've worked with in the past that would have been playing. I don't have my typical allies, JT, Kevin, Damaris, like all of these people that I so heavily rely on in all of my other seasons. I don't have any of that. I'm playing with people that I've never played with before. I think the only person that I've played with before, or 2 people, were Cam and Clay, if I'm not mistaken. So,
And Jericho.
yeah, and Jerica. So 3 people out of all these other people who, they've had rookie seasons together. They've played back to back for all these seasons. I definitely had my fair share of disadvantages. I also wasn't at the house until that day. So I knew nothing of day 1. I knew none of the gameplay. I didn't know any of the backstory. I didn't know anyone's connections, how people were aligned. Like, I didn't even know the Cooking Cousins was a thing. So it just happened to be that, yes, my name and I think my track record is able to get me into those partnerships that will help me get further in the game. But I also was coming in completely blind, so it was definitely a double-edged sword. And I think that is really gonna be probably my biggest struggle, trying to just find my way through the game, because I have to really pay close attention to everyone to try to get caught up. It's not like anyone's sitting down next to me and saying, okay, this is what's happening. Like, no, like I have to gather all this information on my own. I have to figure out the format that everyone's used to already. So that's really gonna be my struggle for at least for the next couple of challenges, if I make it through them.
All right. And then last question I have for you is, as a viewer, who are you enjoying and who's your least favorite?
Who am I enjoying and who's my least favorite? I don't know. I feel like if I don't say certain people, they'll get mad at me. Like, if I don't say my Pookie Cam, he's gonna be mad at me. I always love my Pooks though. But I would say I really enjoyed watching May play. Even though we didn't get to play together, I really enjoyed watching her play. I also think her confessionals are great. So I think she's overall really well-rounded talent for the challenge. Um, who I'm haven't who's my least favorite? I wouldn't say I have a least favorite. Who am I would say who threw me off a little bit, or who I was just confused with their gameplay. Definitely Rhea. That the challenge where like that we were mentioning, that what I never pegged Rhea or Jordan to be people that would like game plan throwing a challenge. I when I think about them and when I look at them, I think of two very strong, powerful women that will take leadership and control of their own game. And yes, this was their idea and their plan, and that's how they were taking control of it. But I think the only way to guarantee your safety is to win. And I just couldn't agree with their strategy of throwing the challenge in order to guarantee certain people went home. It just everyone knows I'm not a fan of people throwing challenges. So it's not that they're my least favorite. I love them. I think they're great people. I just couldn't agree with their gameplay in that round specifically.
Okay, thank you. Well, I'm excited to see what you bring to the season 19 of the challenge. It's always a good time to have you back. Congratulations on making it in the house. And if there's anything else you want to say before you hop off, you have the stage. But thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us tonight, Denise.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm sorry. There's people in my house. But yeah, I'm definitely look, now I'm in the game. Now I have no other choice but to play. I didn't come and do all of this just to lose. So know that I'm gonna come in stronger than ever and prove my name on my own. It's Janice. It's no longer Janice and JT. It's no longer the Jersey Rats. It's no longer whatever the hell you want to call me. It's Janice. And I'm going to show everyone who I am.
And I just want to say before you leave, I love watching your life, by the way. Like, I know, like, it's just great following on Instagram. Like, I love hearing you say that. That's awesome. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Okay, thank you, Janice. Of course, it's an honor always, and I look forward to chatting with you, hopefully, on other recaps to come.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Good night. All right, so we are going to continue the recap. We do have some other guests joining. And with that being said, I want to welcome Zay and Xavier.
Hey, y'all.
What's up? What's good,
y'all?
What's up? So we are currently talking about. I want to get back into the decision. We finally get. We find out Amir is going in against Nate, and all of you are actually connected at this point because of these decisions. So we have T and Clay in power. We have Amir being the house target for going back on his word. We have Xavier being a target for being a rookie paired with another rookie, Rachel. And then Nate, you were paired with May, who was a huge target, got to come back. And Clay and T decided to go with you for the elimination. So a little bit of backstory. I know, Nate, you asked Clay and T, you said, hey, if I'm going in, please just give me the heads up. When you got sent in, did you have that heads up? Were you fueled? I know you said you were playing for revenge, ready to come back in. I know they did this to you. Similar in 17, you got blindsided. Tell me a little bit about, your history in the game and now 2 seasons in a row being blindsided, and particularly by Clay twice.
Yeah, I definitely did not get a heads up. I didn't even get a look. Nothing. I kind of figured at that point, though, as soon as they put Amir in, knowing that it was a physical elimination, I'm thinking they'll go either me or Jared. But I wasn't sure who Jared's partner was. Now that I'm looking back, but when it's a physical thing, you try to get rid of one of the physical guys, so it made sense. I just would have wished I got the heads up. And I asked May before we went in there, because she kept telling me, yeah, I'm really good with T. I'm really good with T. You don't got nothing to worry about. I'm like, okay. They walk in, T don't look at her either. So I'm like, I don't think she good with you the way you think that she good with you. So, he did the same thing to me in 17 against Jason. I was the only guy I was working with. And on the Secret Six, they put me in. Zay, you too. They put me in against Jason. And, I lost. So.
We didn't want to put you in. A little, what I said earlier in the comments, Amir was wondering how, like, he doesn't make it farther in these games and stuff. It's like, me, Joel, and Cam didn't want to vote you in. But we knew to, like, make it farther in the game, you have to stick with the plan. You have to stick with your alliance, because proving who you are as a person and a game player will further your game. And that just shows on 17, the Secret Six stood together the whole time. But we didn't want to, but we knew.
No, it's a respectable move. It's respectable.
Yeah. So, Clay and T, you guys have a small tiff back and forth. Clay, you basically say, if you tie it, we're going in. T, you say, I'm not going in. The whole decision ends up happening. So we have two very strong-minded, hard-headed people playing this game with two complete different aspects. Clay, your version is, I'll compete. I will throw myself on the sword before going back on my word or my people. T, you are survivor mentality. It's me or you, and I'm always going to choose me. Tell me a little bit about that in that moment. How did that happen? And like Clay and T, were you guys ever willing to, give the other person what they wanted?
So first of all, Nate, you didn't get a heads up because we didn't even know you were going in at that point. I swear, and I know Clay will back me up on this. We were standing in front of you guys, still arguing about what we were going to do. We had, when your name was said was when that choice was made. So if we knew you were going to go in, if we had the idea that you were going to get sent in, we would have told you. We just didn't, because at no point ever before names were said did me and Clay go, yeah, okay, agreed. Yeah, so I just want to make that very clear. I also, same thing with May. Like, I would have told May. I would have explained to May. I did feel really good with May. I just don't live in a world where you put yourself in for anybody else. And I know May as a Survivor player, and I know she wants to say that she would have, but I just don't believe it. I'm sorry. I don't. You can't play 30 games as Survivor and look me in the face and tell me that you would have thrown yourself into a double elimination to protect me, who you've known for 4 months, maybe, because we talked a couple times on Facebook in a chat. Like, I just don't, that's insane. And I wouldn't expect, like, I went home after this game and I was talking to my mom and I explained to my mom the whole situation. And I was like, Mom, like, I would have thrown you in. And my mom looked me in the face and she said, and I would have thrown your ass in too. So, like, that's just how I'm raised. Like, boo-boo. And I said that to May. Like, if it was me or my mama's going in, May. So I don't know how you think you were going to get a vote over me. You know what I mean? Anybody else? Sure. But me? No, boo-boo. And Clay knew that was the button to push. He knew that the button to push was, and I even said when I was watching the show to my wife, like, if I would have went down there knowing a single elimination and he would have been putting me against the wall like that, and you would have put me, no offense, in front of Jordan with like a strength game, I would have been like, you know what, motherfucker, let's go. But a double, I don't know these champs. I don't know Janice. I didn't even know if at that point we knew it was going to be Janice. Like, it could be some fucking 6 foot tall bitch who's coming in. And now, like, me? Me? You know what I'm saying? So, like, if in other situations, maybe. But with a double and a champ on the line, like, I'm sorry, Clay, your dick is bigger than mine, boo-boo, and you can have that. So, you know what I'm saying?
Clay, you talk about in the decision, like, again, loyalty, your boys are good, they're not going in. And then you were contemplating, you sat there and you were debating going in against Aimir because of all the quote-unquote shit Aimir has been talking. Tell me a little bit about that and what stopped you, and let's address the elephant in the room now.
Yeah, so for me, it's just like, if you're gonna talk, I would love to see it.
I still
Amir,
love to see it, by the way. But
Amir has said on multiple times that he would beat me in a physical elimination.
I said in the pole wrestle, but yeah.
Okay, sorry, pole wrestle. But this was as close as we could get at this time, and it was like the perfect opportunity. So I thought, this would be a great chance to take it. Had it been a single elimination, I think I would have. However, knowing that how I came in on a double, I was pretty sure it was going to be another set of champs. I'm pretty good with all the champs, so I didn't want to have to go against somebody that could be my ally. So that's kind of where I was, but hopefully we'll get the opportunity again one time. But for me, it just wasn't the right time because I was pretty sure one of my allies, one of my friends would be coming in, and then we would have both me and them in the house to work towards what we wanted to do.
So Amir, anything about tell me a little bit about that. I know the Clay and Amir storyline has been going on for a minute, whether it's not like a big thing in the episodes, but I know like you guys are always against each other. You feel like Clay doesn't like you on a personal level. So what is it with you feel you could take Clay on? Do you still stand by that?
I don't know. Like I still stand by that. I think as far as a pole wrestle and as far as a pole wrestle and like having a jiu-jitsu background with like a pole and things like that, I get that. But yeah, no, I don't underestimate him at all. Hopefully this isn't coming off as like I think he's weak at all. I think he's probably top. I would put him in like top 3 guys like to compete ever. What was the other question? I don't know. Like, as far as like him not liking me, I don't know. Like, I mean, Clay will tell you, like, I think Clay will tell you himself, like, whatever the issue is. I don't know. I've tried to have many friendly conversations. Like, as far as outside the game, I think we're good. Like, I never like thought that like necessarily outside the game, but like in the game, I don't know what it is that he doesn't want to like. I don't think Clay's ever given me a chance with himself. Like me and him, he's never given me a chance like in the game. And had he given me a chance, maybe I could have proven that somehow, and maybe we could have like had another serious conversation or talk. But he's never. I never felt that Clay gave me a chance ever. But like as far as like him as a person, I think he's a great person. Hopefully, this isn't like that narrative doesn't continue.
Clay, is there anything you want to say before we move on?
I just feel like it's not personal at all. I feel like I've actually, especially going back to like the green season, 18. I think I was actually the opposite of what I'm being painted as. I think I don't
mean to cut you off at all. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Hopefully, I'm not contributing to that painting at all, because if he was one of the top 2 people that were there for me during all that drama and nonsense, and even a lot of drama, even something brief, but drama this season. Clay also reached out to me and was like, I hear you, I see you, I stand by you. Just in the game, just within the complex to all the fans who was watching, I don't feel like Clay's ever given me a chance. That's all.
Yeah, and I can say like I like now that he had said that, and I want to stand by that. Like I want everyone to know, like personally, I'm a good person. Like it's simple as that. Like I'm a good person. I care about people's feelings. I want the best for people. I genuinely, on a outside of the game level, respect Amir. I respect what he does for work. I respect him as a person. I respect, like, low-key, no problems with him. Like I don't have any problems with Amir outside the game. In the game, I don't think Amir is a good player, and I wouldn't work with him. Like that's my right. Like I can have that right to say I wouldn't work with him. Now, if I was in a different situation and I didn't have people, or I was by myself, maybe that would change. But as it's come, I have my people, and I don't think Amir is a good player for my game.
Okay, that makes sense. So we do end up going to elimination. The champs come out. Nate and Amir, you're in elimination. But before we touch base on that elimination, I do want to address a comment that T made in the, when Paddock was like, hey, like, what the hell did you just do? Nate and May wanted to work with us. Like, why would you give Clay what he wanted? She said she doesn't want to be the last rookie standing. She can't throw in rookies, etc. And you mentioned how this game has been very hard on you because, you're used to cheating, lying, stealing in Survivor, and now you're being held to this standard where you really have to confront everything you do and not necessarily be honest, but whatever decision you make, you have to stand on it. So we'll start with T. Like watching it back and playing the challenge and versus Survivor. Did you learn? Have you learned anything? Is there anything that you're like, damn, like maybe the lying, cheating, stealing isn't for this game, etc. Like, what are your thoughts on that statement, and where do you stand with it till right now?
It's definitely the standard that you're held to in the challenge house is definitely stressful, way more stressful than having to sleep outside and not eat. I would pick no roof. Like, it was funny to me when everyone was like, there's no air conditioning. And I was like, there's a roof. But I would pick sleeping outside and not eating 100 times over the expectation from people that what I did in that game was personal, or that because I talk shit about them in the game that I don't like them, or like it just, like I said, I live in a charge it to the game type of world. And so it was very, very, very hard for me to process, especially like it took me quite a while after the game to process kind of the emotional standard that I felt was being placed on everybody, not just myself. I mean, it's what you guys do. I definitely need some, I would say that you need a couple of months, maybe a year between challenge seasons. It's a lot on you mentally for sure, but I hold by what the player I am. And I think that what people are starting to understand about me that they're struggling with is I do have alliances. I will work with people. I will go to the death for you until it's me, and then I'm not going that far. And I think if people can just understand that, they'd realize that I am a pretty good ally. I've been an ally to Amir before. I've been an ally to Dre before. I've been an ally to plenty of people who are probably watching or have watched. I've been an ally to Jay West before. Like, when I want to work with you, I will definitely work with you. I'm not here to just backstab people for fun. But I do have a standard, and I think that I'm very clear about my standard. You all now know it. I am Sandra Diaz Twine, anybody but me, always and forever. And it got me this far. I don't know how much further it's going to get me, but it got me this far. And, if a lot of times when you apply to the games, they ask you, would you rather be loved and lose, or would you rather be hated and win? And I'm always going to pick hated and win. That's just me. At the end of the day, these are games. They are just for fun. It's what it's like LARPing, but like in a cooler way, kind of. But that's what it is at the end of the day. And I've met some of the best people on the planet, my greatest friends playing these games. And I don't care if they took me out, if I took them out, if I think they're awesome people, they're going to be my friends. And that's just how I'm always going to be. So I don't think the challenge has changed the player I am, but it's definitely given me a level of respect for challenge players that I didn't have previously to this. Because when you watch the challenge, you think it's much more of a physical game than a mental game, but it's actually way more of a mental game than people could imagine, because it is harder to be held to a standard in that way, for sure. So nothing but respect to the veterans who continue to return and, put their friendships on the line, because that's what you guys do in a way that I'm just not used to.
So Xavier and Zay, I know Xavier, you were they were trying to target you with Rachel. I know you got into it with Lachey in the comments. Even in the live chat, you were not happy about T saying that she she wants to lie, cheat, and steal. So as a rookie coming in, how do you feel watching the episode and seeing all this and seeing your name being thrown around and things like that?
I honestly was just mad because it was like a lot of people there. They hadn't touched elimination, they hadn't proved themselves, and then it was just me and Rachel getting throwing back to elimination, back and forth. That had me tell you, like I was psyched. I'm telling you, I was just telling Zay just earlier. I'm like, it's crazy how they was picking on us because we're rookies, But yeah, I was just mad. That's just weird, and it's just like they could have picked other people from there.
So
And I would not put you in at that point because you were a rookie.
A
And I
rookie,
hope
like
that
I'm
comes
easy
across.
to compete with at the end. Not easy, but
No, but like I'm a rookie too. I hope it came across that as much shit as I talk about Zay, who I know you love very much, and again, is only because I have so much respect for him as a player, or he was part of the group that I was going after. That's it. I think you're amazing. And I want you to know that every time I watch it, my wife is like, that guy seems like just the nicest person on the planet. And I'm like, he is. I promise. But like at that point, I was unwilling to put you in because of your rookie status, and I wanted to go against people who were not rookies, and that's why May ended up there, because I was more willing to put a rookie and a vet in than a rookie and a rookie, and the only vet Clay was willing to go with was Nate at the time, so we went with Nate.
But then you was like, take Andre's name and put Xavier up there. I'm like, see what happened with that? Like, girl, I thought
and it didn't work because then fucking Andre ended up in elimination anyway. I just want everybody to know that I tried my best for all the rookies out there. It just didn't always work.
But I'm so
And I
glad-
want to say, sorry, Xavier, go ahead.
But I'm glad I didn't have to do that with Nate. Like, I didn't want to compare. I know I would have got my ass whooped. Like, I'm good. I'm glad that was Amir, not me. But yeah.
And I want to say, for me, looking at the pairs now, obviously I don't have the pairs in front of me right now, so it's hard to like remember, but I can like mark off some right now in my head. Obviously, Zay, Cam, Big X, Ashley, we're not going in. Okay, so I don't know how many pairs there were, but it didn't leave very many options after that. So looking at, and then Amir was the house vote. So,
but Clay, you knew me too. Like,
and I wasn't. And if Clay was going to put 4 on the board of names he wouldn't touch, I was like, well, I'm going to have at least one fucking name. So then I put Paddock on the board, which took out Jared, which is who Clay really wanted to send in, Jared. So Clay, that's what I mean. Like, it took a long time because Clay was like, well, then Jared. And I was like, you're not going to tell me I'm not putting in 4 people and then tell me you're going to put in the one person I'm trying to save, bitch. Absolutely not. Like...
So wait, so I have 2 questions. My first question is, for T, if Clay would have said Jared and Paddock, would you have agreed, or would you have went down, or would you have went down yourself, or would you have sent Paddock in?
Clay said Paddock and Jared, and I said no, and Clay was willing to say, and this is what I mean, like, he comes off aggressive, but he was willing to give a little bit. Not as much as I was hoping he would give, but he was willing to give a little bit because he was very quickly like, all right, like, I can't sit here and say that I won't put in 4 people and then force you to put in one person that you don't want to put in. Like,
I'm really not a bad guy.
But this is what I'm saying. But then and then you have May mad, and I'm like, girl, like, how many people do you think he was going to let me take off the table? Like, I'm literally fighting to the death with this guy. Like, he's trying to get me out of here. Like, I don't, because as you see in my confessional, like, I was listening to what he said, but at the end of the day, I still thought, like, why would he want me here? Like, he thinks he could beat anybody. He don't think I could beat anybody. Like Janice said, I'm 110 pounds soaking wet. Like, I only got so much in me.
So,
and I do not think I could beat everybody. Let me just say that. Would I want to do that elimination against Nate? Absolutely not. Would I want to do that elimination against Jared? Absolutely not.
So my next question is, Clay, in a world where, you are not in a world, it was said, you were telling T, like, I do think my numbers want to work with you. Was that real in that moment, looking back? Like, were you just telling her what she wanted to hear, or were you actually trying to build something with T in that moment?
I think it was, I would say it was real because I don't feel like I lied just to lie like that. Now I'm trying to remember what was going through my head at that time, but I don't just make up stuff that makes people feel good. Like, if I say it, I usually mean it. I think T showed that she was a competitor, and when you show you're a competitor, why would a guy not want to run with you? Like, I feel like that's pretty like, and obviously, she looks like she can run. She, what we saw, she has a fight in her. So why would you not want to run with her? So I definitely think it was true. I don't know if I personally wanted to like build something with her in the sense of like I want to work together. Um, it is possible I had kind of an idea of it because Ashley was telling me like, oh well, like I'm talking to T, like I do have a relationship with T, so it is possible that I was open to it, but I definitely, it was past all of my people, of course, but I wasn't against it. And then for like the final thing, I definitely think T would be a great person to run with, like 100%.
So, I have a question for the couple over there, Zay and Xavier. Two separate questions, but Xavier, you have been commenting throughout the season about the tears, talking about people with these fake tears, the fake crying. Who are you talking about? What do you think is fake? Like, what are you
Okay,
calling?
before Amir comes eating me up or whatever the question is, Amir, I'm not gonna lie to you. For me, it looks
It
like
wasn't fake tears. It's never fake tears.
for me, it looked like it is. So I'm just
It's
saying.
not. It's
Amir,
not.
like,
No, he
meanwhile,
does cry that much.
It's not. Thank you. It's not.
last
Let's just.
No, I
season,
think
he did
that
the
I think
same
they're
How
real.
can, how can we say on one hand, oh, this boy wears his heart in his sleeve, and then the other hand say that he's crying?
It was just
Yeah,
like
I
It's
think
not
they're
fake.
very real.
wait. The
It's
way he
very.
said,
It's not fake tears at all. My tears are.
wait.
This is who I
But you
am.
was just so calm, and then you said, Amir, Amir, no, Parker this, Parker that. I'm like, bro, you're not crying. Just
That's just me.
The
That's
game
just
gets intense. It gets intense.
it gets intense,
It
but
gets
it's like,
intense.
hey, you don't have to get the game. Like,
okay, but different
Yeah.
people have different thresholds for what they can take and what they can't
but
take.
didn't they come for you last season for the same thing?
And how many times did I cry? Did I not cry? What are you talking about? Did you watch this
That's
season?
like that. You need to stop crying.
You didn't
Get a
watch this
grip.
season.
If
think
Ymir could
Ymir-
control his crying, he would, because I think Ymir knows that he would be better off if he didn't cry as much. Sorry, Ymir,
Yeah.
If
I
he
really
would have
do
just
love
said,
you. And I'm
Parker,
trying to defend
No,
you.
I can't.
Parker, I'm saving you, that would have been fine. But
No,
with
it
the
doesn't. It
tears,
doesn't.
like-
No. It doesn't. It doesn't offend me, but that's just who I am. Like y'all said, I wear my heart on my sleeve, and that is just who I am as a person. That's what makes me a great teacher and educator, and that's just who I am.
Xavier, what I think you need to realize is that whole time that Amir is standing there, he is contemplating this and he's thinking about this and he's like, if they choose me, what am I gonna do? So I think you have to realize that he's a different level mental gamer than you are. And I think you have to realize that he is thinking that the whole time.
They
and
saving him. They saving him. Why would you go against your alliance if you're trying to be? You
But what does that have to do with the question?
Alliance this, alliance that.
That has nothing to do with the question.
Amir was not in our alliance.
But then,
Like-
first of all, y'all saying that y'all was gonna save him if he saved Parker. Did he save Parker?
But that has nothing to do with the question. The
But
question
even if we
was
saved him,
about tears.
Amir knows he's at the bottom of that group. It doesn't matter. We've played 3 seasons together and we worked together without a flaw.
And
Amir knows he's not jumping in that and being at the top of that. If you
But it's
think that, you're not a good game player.
It's like
Yes,
20.
he knows he's not.
And
Wait, it's
and
like
me and
24
Clay-
players there.
me and Clay played
only
3
one
seasons
person
together.
cried.
And how many times did I cry? All 3 times. It has nothing to do. But say my tears are not fake. Who fake?
He was sitting there
From 24
thinking about it
players,
the whole
from 24
time.
players. How are you the only one that keeps crying every season?
But that
that's
is
just
who
like-
that is who I am. Nice to meet you. My name is Ymir Williams. I cry.
Yeah,
a
but your
crier.
confessionals don't give that. Your
Why would I?
confessionals
Because
is
we
the
filmed
opposite.
months later. Are you high
All
right
right, so
now?
start crying in your confessionals too, ho. Like,
Are you high right now? Like we filmed.
I'm
like,
not
we
high. I'm
filmed-
chilling. I'm sober, baby.
He's
We
sober.
filmed months later.
You don't have to back me up
Obviously,
with that.
literally,
But,
I
yeah.
filmed.
I think you just don't understand like the game level of like an actual gamer
What is he talking
because you are
about?
just
What is
coming
he-
in like
what is wrong
you're
with
new
him?
to it and you're not like quite on the gaming level that we are. Because I mean, I've tried
Clay.
multiple times.
It's okay. Look, I lost. I didn't
And I'm
cry.
not the only person that cries. What are you talking
No,
about?
No,
you're
a
just
lot
the
of
only
people-
person that gets caught on camera.
No, I
Thank
have.
you. I'm about to say how many people have cried. So,
Because
but
my
me,
ass was just running
thousands of
down to
times.
the woods to cry so that Dre couldn't find me.
it's
'Cause
not
I'm
fake tears. This is who
crying.
I am. When it comes, it comes. Now,
Okay,
ask
like-
anybody in my family.
And also to be fair, and I think that this is a fabulous thing that comes out of the challenge. It comes out of the LRG world. But like, to be fair, Ymir is always put in a situation where he feels utterly alone. And like, Xavier, you had a situation where
Oh.
you found a wonderful person
He
who,
found a wonderful person too, and then he backstabbed all of them.
but I'm just saying, like, you in this season, you had somebody who kind of was there to like pat you on the back and show you love and support, even if they weren't your alliance, even if Zay wasn't your
But
alliance, you were
I was
starting
doing that
something
with
that
Amir
showed
too.
you
I was doing
love
it
and
with
support.
Amir,
And I
Amir
think
didn't
it's
even have my
really
back.
hard when you don't have someone there. Like Ashley had Clay, I had Paddock. Like people have those people who they kind of feel like whether or not I'm working with you at the end of the night, like I knew if I needed to cry, I could go like smoke a joint with Paddock and then like cry. But I don't think Ymir had that, and I think that that makes it even harder in that
But
situation.
I
You
was
don't
even
really
trying to
have
pick
somebody.
Amir. I was
And
even
if there
trying to
was
have it with Amir.
anybody who I had that with, it was at that point Colbert, who was checking in on me personally, right? Which is why
Are
I
you
say
crazy?
personally.
Are you
And I'm not
losing your
saying
memory?
I'm not saying that there weren't other people that checked on me. I felt the most connected to Colbert, but still, that has nothing to do. This has nothing to do with the question, right? The question is like fake tears, whatever. I'm debunking
And
it.
it was only you. It was a lot of
They
people.
weren't okay. So move on to the next person. You're obsessed with my tears. Leave my tears alone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry if I want to cry.
They look dumb to me, but I'm sorry. Let me just keep.
No,
continue.
but they're not dumb. The fact that you
Because you should cry when it's a reason to cry. Like stop crying for a little.
you
stuff.
can't pick and choose. You can't tell somebody
I
what they
can't
can
make
and can't
and
cry
choose
about.
I do.
You
It's my
sound
life.
stupid. You sound dumb.
No, you sound.
I want to
stupid.
say two things because I again
What?
as knowing you guys both
Because
on
you
a
can
personal
just
level,
control when you cry.
I think that first of all, I definitely think Ymir's tears, specifically Ymir, I think
Are
they're
fake.
very real. No, I think his tears are
No,
very
they're-
like I've been there since
1,000%.
17.
You can't
I'm
take me
pretty sure
wrong.
his tears are what got him the call back because I don't know if you remember this, Ymir, after your rookie season, I said, regardless of your gameplay, regardless of you think people think like they don't like you personally, like something that I appreciate about Ymir is that like he's gonna come here and he's gonna wear his heart on his sleeve. Like I appreciate that as a player. I would rather you guys all come and cry than come and be like, I don't give a fuck about this
Bro,
game. Like,
every scene trade though. Like, come on.
I don't cry every
Xavier,
scene.
but wait. I think what you're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I think you did get off a little bit topic of the question, is I think what your problem is with, and it's not just with Ymir, because I've seen you call people out, is that like someone will be crying or someone will be like, oh, I want to protect the rookies, or oh, I like this person, and then their confessionals are two different things. I'm not saying for Ymir to cry in confessionals. I'm just saying, and I will say this, and I feel like I have the right to say this. There are people like I do think Ymir. I think you come off more like cutthroat in your confessionals than the actual player you are. In your confessionals, you're like, oh, I only care about me. I'm gonna make this decision. I don't give a fuck. Blah 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 blah. But then you're not like that. Like you are emotional. You do care. You don't just make these moves and think like I don't care. Like I think like a T. I think what she says, she's saying in her confessional probably 10 times more in her confessional. If she's saying I don't give a fuck, I'm not going in. She's standing on that. I think like a Zay, his thing has always been integrity, loyalty. He does that. But I think there are people that are like saying one thing and then going to confessional and saying another. I don't think Amir's tears are fake. I just do think that his confessionals come off tougher or like more cold than who he actually is.
Yeah, but it's also like 8 months after. So he's like, why aren't you crying in your confessionals? It's like I literally filmed that literally almost a year after, right? Wasn't it? I feel like it was a long time after.
Side
note
is if I ever end up back on TCC, that's why I'm a good ally. Because I say what I mean and I mean what I say. Just saying, just side noting that.
So I do want to say, I want to ask Zay a question, then we're going to get to elimination, wrap this up. We're going to
like
literally my friends do that to me all the time. I'm telling you, I swear that's not the first time. If you know my org background. Sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry, it's okay. Zay, I think it's really ironic for you and T to both be on this call tonight because you guys play complete opposite games. She is loud and proud. I want to backstab, cheat, steal, and you are respect and loyalty and integrity. So playing with, this new generation of Survivor people, how do you play the game with these type of people and like watching it back? how do you feel about that game style?
Me personally, I feel like how I would treat somebody in the real world is how I play the game. Respect, honor, do that. And I'm learning 4 seasons in now, I'm learning that sometimes you do got to backstab, maybe go against your word. Me personally, no, but it's just new to me to like experience that with these new Survivor people playing because, and no disrespect to T at all. I like T, but it's just so like taking me back a little bit to watch it. And then I'm thinking back, damn, but before that challenge, me and T were like outside during the break time, chopping it up, talking this and that. And little did I know, like that when Clay told me that T wanted to target me, I was like, wait, what? You could even see it in the episode. I'm like, wait, what? She wants to target me? I was like, but like what? So it's a new way to adapt to these new people to try to play because I'm just so used to just sticking with a strong alliance and just being loyalty and doing that. But it's crazy. It's really crazy seeing how people are playing the game now.
We all are learning something new because to me, it's crazy for Zay to be like, "Oh, we were just chopping it up. Like I can't believe she said my name," and I'm like, "I think you're fabulous, but you gotta go, boo." Like,
yeah.
So it's funny to watch the Survivor people learn the challenge and the challenge people learn Survivor kind of all at the same time.
It's crazy.
And I did. There were parts. Parts are coming up where I'm like rooting for you 100%.
Right.
But like only, and then you're like, yay, successful, and I'm like, all right, but still, he's like part of this group that I got to get rid of.
Yeah.
So like,
it's
so
crazy.
Before we move on to elimination and wrap this up, I have one question for T. My question is, and I don't know, I'm asking you as like a viewer myself. Did you? Because I feel like you're so heavily in the Survivor mindset of like this strong unit of men, right, want to play with you, and they're telling you like, or at least to your face, they're saying like, we want to run with you, we like you. Zay said it multiple times, he feels like he's good with you. Clay was offering you the olive branch. So I don't know what it was with Big X or Cam if they ever did with you, but at least these two that we have here, they did want to work with you to some extent. As a Survivor player, since it's one person walks away with the prize, were you thinking like, oh wait, maybe I should want Zay and Clay, like I want to run with them, or like does your opinion change now watching it and realizing like, oh wait, you want the strong guys there to run, or did you have in your mindset other guys that you wanted to run with before then?
I think that I had a preference out of the group, the group that I was targeting. And so I wanted to break that group up, but I did have people that if I had the choice would have kept there. And Zay, you're one of those people. Like I wanted to break that group up, but if I could keep like Clay and Zay there, I would. And the reason why I want to break a group up, and I say it very clearly in my confessional, and again, this is part of my Survivor that I had to unlearn because in Survivor, it's not guys, girls, like everybody is the same player. But like, if you are one person, but you're connected to 4 people, you're actually 4 people. And my one vote or my one move can never outdo a group of 4. So the thing that's the most scary is a group of people who will admit that they would do anything for each other. Because if it's Clay, Zay, X, Cam, and T's part of the group, guess where T is? T's 5th. I don't want to be 5th. I don't want to be the 5th person on your list. And I was always going to be the 5th person on a list of people who already knew each other, already had a connection. And then we all knew Zay and Xavier were like kind of matching up. So then I'm like, now I'm 6.
May I ask why you were like a little concerned about the 4 guys? Because at any point in the game going forward, you're not going to face us in elimination. We're not an alliance to go after the girls or like to per se like you're not.
Because I had already gotten rid of the girls I was worried about. Jordan was gone. Rhea was gone. They did their own. So they saved me and got themselves gone.
In your head, why would you want to break up the guys though? If you would never have to face us in an elimination going forward, why not try?
But that's what I mean. Like I'm learning the game as I go. So all I'm thinking is that's a strong group. And in my world, any strong group is going to be stronger than me alone. So if I need now, Zay, if I need your vote for something, but Clay, Cam, and X aren't going to go with it, I'm not going to get your vote. Right. But if X and Clay aren't there anymore and I need your vote, you might vote with me. right? So like I want to be your number one, and I can't be your number one if Cam is there and if X is there. And those were my biggest targets throughout the whole thing. Your name only came up after people would shoot me down for Cam and X. I wanted Cam and X out of there like nobody's business, because it was clear to me that everybody, like sub Nate probably, was like kissing the ground that those two walked on. And I could not have that. Because if it was I needed your vote or they needed your vote, they were always going to get your vote.
That's the question. That's what I was asking you, T. Like, you answered it perfectly, because the way I'm viewing it is like, and I think the way Zay is viewing it is like, yeah, you're gonna be fifth in a survivor setting, but like as a girl, you're one of the strongest girls, so they're gonna protect you over whoever else they think they can. You know what I mean? Like I'm asking, and again, I could be wrong, but Zay, like in that moment, from how Zay's explaining it, I think you were a potential option to run with.
Sorry, guys.
He was never going to go
back. Amir and Xavier.
I don't know what he said.
Is everyone else gone or what?
We're all here.
We're all here.
So I think that's what they were trying to say, that like, we would run with a T, but I understand T's, because that makes sense. Like,
the game is bigger than running, right? Like we have to get to running the final. And yes, once we run the final, like you all might be happy to have me there at the final, but I have to get there. And in order to get there, you need votes. And again, I can't trust you to vote with me if I know your number one is still here. The same way I would expect people to want to break me and Paddock up, because how could you be my number one if Paddock's there? And how could you be Paddock's number one if I'm there, right? Like it just, to me, it's not about, oh, well, all five of us could have ran the final together with you. It's, yeah, but Zay, I need this vote right now, and there's no way you're giving it to me with Cam here.
See, you was trying to break up the minions. Like, it's
the
okay.
minions.
Yeah.
And as you watch the show, every rookie, I want to say, mentions it at some point in their confessional. Oh, this big, like, I know I started it, but everybody was so aware of this big gang. And then once Clay came in, it was like, now this motherfucker's got fresh legs.
But what's crazy is that you're the only one clocking it. You're the only one like really trying to like take that jab.
Welcome to Survivor. You should play a game. It's
everyone
fabulous.
else is you're saying everybody else is aware of this and that. Even the vets that were there it doesn't take two, but it's like, why wouldn't people take that shot? Even though I know we had the vet versus rookies thing, but at the same time, it's like, you're the only one, and I have to respect you for that. You're the only one really like letting it be known that we got to target them. We got to target them.
And that's why I said at the end of the day, I'm always going to I might seem crazy, but I'm the type of person who
I like it, though.
If I'm working with you, you know it. But if I'm not working with you, you also probably know it.
Yeah.
Well,
it's fair. It was just a lot of new emotions that I'm experiencing, because this is the farthest I've ever made it myself. So it's just a lot of different vibes, emotions that I'm facing too. So it's just a lot.
No, but I was trying to break the minions too. Don't do that.
You remind me.
Bitch, I'm
okay. So, all right. So let's finally get into this elimination. Clay, do you have to go? Did you want to say any final words before you take off?
Welcome aboard. Yeah, I mean, we're moving right now, so I have like 15, 20 more minutes probably.
Okay. So, all right. So,
I do want to say that Xavier said he wants to get on.
What did he say?
Big X said he wants to get on.
Big X wants to come on.
Okay, he could get on once. If Clay's getting on. Clay, are you getting on?
About to be all right. This is about to be.
Okay, we're starting the elimination. So, I'm trying to end this. I gotta go. So, okay, we get into the elimination. I want to give May a huge shout out, because she has proven to be an all-around star this season. Like, not just a competitor, but she's also good in the confessionals. What people don't see, what people will see moving forward, is she helped on production afterwards. She had really great sportsmanship. Like, all around 10 out of 10. Just want to give May a shout out, because she definitely deserved it, and it was an honor to have her. I hope to see her back in the future. Jordan, same thing. Absolutely love her. Was sad to see her go, but I didn't see too much of her in these past 2 seasons. So I'm hoping I get to see that eventually in the future. I know she's a Survivor player, and I know she's a beast in those games. I want to see it translate here. But let's get into the guys' elimination. Nate and Ymir. Nate and Ymir's elimination was probably one of my favorites throughout all the seasons in a long time. That first heat was really good. Like, you guys were at it for a good solid 10 minutes, maybe even more. That the camera obviously was an edit, but that second heat took the wind out of Ymir, and I just want to have you guys talk about it a little bit and kind of like hash out what happened and watching it back and stuff. And we'll start with Ymir.
No, there's not really anything to hash out. Like, he kicked my ass like fair and square. The first round, like, I felt really confident. I felt that like we could go, but like when we reset, like that part I didn't think was necessarily, and at the time I vocalized it too, I didn't think that part was fair. I think that my hand was more on the ball that first round, but then again, like, his strategy like ended up triumphing more than mine. I did not mean to knee him in the face. I know, like, I looked at it, I watched it like at least 5 times, and it looks intentional. I remember at the moment Nate was like frustrated or said something, but I did not mean to knee him in the face. I would not knee anybody in the face like on purpose, especially in something like that. Like, unless it was like UFC, like MMA type something, and I'm supposed to knee you in the face, I would never. That was like the objective. I would never knee somebody in the face like that, or at all. But yeah.
Nate, how was it watching back the elimination, seeing everything play out, etc.?
I mean, it was fun. I had fun doing it. I ain't going to elimination yet, so I really want to get my hands wet a little bit. I didn't know it was gonna be physical. Like, I didn't know exactly what it was gonna be, because physical could be like a bunch of different things. But I feel like it played into my strong suit, and yeah, I really wasn't trying to hurt nobody. At the end of the day, you are right. That first round, I was unaware about the rules at first, because you said there was a safe word, and I had said the safe word because I wasn't sure. Like, I had my helmet over my face and I said the safe word, but I think it was for more like extreme circumstances. You needed somebody to say the safe word. So that's what kind of reset us. So I'll give you that, Ymir. And as far as the knee in the face, it really wasn't a big deal. Like, it wasn't a big deal to me. Like, I said it was, but I was just really trying to hype myself up because I feel like I wasn't doing as good as I should have been at that time. Like,
yeah, no, like, I didn't like, and then at that point, like, I went in, I also like subconsciously was going in like trying to not hurt you, because if doing that hurt or like whatever caused frustration, I can imagine anything else was causing it. So I think like in the future we just have to be like, it's just like a production thing. We have to be careful like with the safe words and stuff and what we're actually calling, because I think that like honestly I think I could have gotten you that first round. I got to the ball first, like stuff like that, but like, you know, like, I flipped the switch unintentionally. I wish I hadn't flipped that switch, because, man, I don't know if it was like your knee that got me that second round or what it was, but like, I remember, yeah,
I didn't put a shoulder in you or nothing. Like, I looked back at it myself, and I didn't like mush you or nothing. It was just like
impact. It was just impact. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been hit that hard, and I've never played like any physical sport ever. Like, I never done that. All I do is really just work out. I never like played any athletic sport, so. Maybe that would have helped me have a hand in it.
I mean, T kind of said it best. I think it was T. As far as like, the more tired I got, the more frustrated I was, and I was getting frustrated. So, I forgot. Oh, Jenny said it. That's what it was. The more tired I was, the more frustrated I was. So I really wasn't tripping about the knee to the head.
Yeah.
Like, right after we was talking, it was cool.
So, before we wrap it up, I am going to let Big X on for a little bit. I want to address the mid-season trailer, and I also want to, address Ymir's exit on tonight's episode. So let's start off with welcome in, Big X. What's up, Big X? How are you?
Hi, I'm good. I didn't know I was going to be on here tonight. I just, a birdie texted me saying, I was getting called a crybaby, that I don't take accountability for my actions.
Somebody wanted to see a show is who it was, but I didn't say it. I didn't call you a crybaby. But
hold on, Clay just wanted to say, sorry, had to hop off. Wanted to give Big X the time. I'm here in the comments now. But
I just want to know why. Yeah, I don't want like an argument. I just want to know like why.
I didn't say it.
Oh, T, I was told you said it.
I mean, yeah, you flipped your lid 3 times in the season, did you not?
I did what? Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I said, did you not flip your lid 3 separate times during the season?
Yeah, all iconic moments. But didn't you also have moments where you were crying?
It came up because
But I think I think the problem a lot of times with this game and with these chats is like, X, I think you feel like people are coming for you personally every time they mention something that happens in the
Well,
game.
no. That's just what I was texted.
And they're not. Bro,
I was enjoying my Monday.
You flipped out like a psychopath when you knew you weren't going to go into a challenge. You then flipped out
no,
again.
that's not. No,
So
I flipped
yes,
out like a
you were
psychopath.
a little bit of a
I flipped
crybaby.
out. I flipped out like a psychopath because somebody who I trusted and gave information to backstabbed me. That's why I flipped out like a
did
psychopath.
you talk about before that?
What?
No,
You
that
just talk-
No,
yeah,
because
Amir,
my first argument here, Amir, on this season was to Jared. That was my first argument, and I'm pretty sure that was my.
I'm kind of lost. I don't
You
know
were
what you're talking
thrown down and had a whole meltdown when you knew you weren't going in because you got the advantage.
I didn't
Like,
have a meltdown.
again,
I popped off. Having
again,
a
it's
meltdown, and
you
popping
take-
off are two different things.
I'm
Having
gonna-
a meltdown and popping off are two different things.
I'm gonna
The whole-
take it as like someone who's a little bit younger.
Amir, I thought you didn't say nothing about me. Why are you
But
talking?
like,
The whole
again,
reason
it's
this
not
came
personal.
up-
We're just talking about what was
the
on
whole
screen.
I'm just trying to
Okay.
explain to you the whole reason this came up is because they were talking about like how I always cry or whatever, and like I'm the only one that does that or whatever, and how I'm crying. And then she brought up the point that you're also a crybaby, but like I don't think it doesn't get brought up.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Amir, but I don't think I've ever mentioned you crying. So why?
I didn't say, but I'm didn't.
No,
I,
I know.
I just want to address something. Hold on. So first, like T was saying, we were talking about the show. There was no. I just want to make it clear because I don't know. Obviously, it could have been anybody that texted you. Whoever texted you that, just so that there's context, she wasn't saying anything like, "Oh, fuck Big X, he's this that." She was just saying in the game that you've had your moments of being a crybaby because correct me if I'm wrong, but there was like a moment where people were saying like Amir always cries and basically she was just saying it happens to a lot of people. Like Big X is one of them.
because
And that's what it
you don't
was.
see people like me that cry as much as they do, so that's why it probably stands out as much as that.
And then I
Right.
even said that
That's
I
why.
also cried, but I
I'm a black
prefer
man that
to
cries.
cry in the woods where Dre can't find me. So
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
I think you're taking everything that's said about you as like a very personal thing, and it's not
Well, no.
about what's on screen. And the
Because-
fact of the matter is a couple times on screen, you had a little bit of a meltdown, as we do in these games, because it's an intense game. I was just trying to say that Amir isn't the only one who flips his lid. It wasn't
Yeah,
personal.
And I really
Well-
appreciate her saying that because I'm tired of people focusing on me when it comes to things. I'm not the only person that does these things, right? And then
But you're doing it
and
on camera.
even when I cry, then it's like, oh, he's fake crying, because we are not used to, again, seeing black men with wear their hearts and their emotions on their sleeves the way that I do on screen, and it probably just stands out to people a lot more. Which the point where this is my lived experience, where like now that I'm crying, now I'm being accused of it being fake tears. Ridiculous.
Okay,
But-
yeah.
wait, can I say
My hold on, Xavier, hold on, because I told Dre I only want to be here for 5 minutes. What I was told, once again, I was enjoying my Monday, was that I also got told there was also being talked about that how I turn everything into an argument, I turn everything into a debate, the word was cry baby, how I was a cry baby. That's what I was told. That's the only reason why I came on here. I didn't watch what anyone said, so I'll watch it after. But I was just told a plethora of things that just.
Yo, X, can I say something?
Oh,
I
hi,
think
man.
the thing, how you doing, bro? I think the thing with you and Amir sometimes that that can probably rub some people the wrong way is that, like, if someone says something negative about you, sometimes you just gotta take it in instead of just like, oh, but you do that too. Oh, but you do that too. Oh, we're not gonna talk about this though, right? And it's just like, even if you don't agree, sometimes you could just agree to disagree and keep it moving. When you start going back and forth about every negative thing about you, that's what make it seem like you're combative and you're like always want to argue. You don't take accountability. I don't say nothing.
That's actually a great point that Brady brought up, because Brady was actually fake crying. And
That's what you gave.
Brady was actually fake crying, but no one thought that she was fake crying. Except, like, I remember, I thought she was fake crying. I thought she was faking in the moment, but you know why you didn't question her for fake crying? Check yourself, my guy. Check yourself.
Because
Amir, you know what? Hold
that
on.
was the first season crying. This
Yo.
is like your third season or fourth season. Like,
Xavier.
Amir, you do this for
I'm
show.
sorry, Dre. I didn't know it was gonna wake up like this. Damn.
don't-
Okay. Well, my point. I just wanted to come up here is that I was just told that apparently I don't take accountability. I always take accountability for everything that I do. I'm always a realized bitch. I always say how I feel. That's why I pop off, because that's just me. Yeah. That's all. Is there anything
Nate,
else?
you could say X if you want till we wrap it up. But Nate, I know you were addressing Xavier and you were talking, so I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah, no, it was about the Brady thing. The reason why nobody came at Brady about it, because she openly said these are fake tears. Like, I'm not like, this is fake. I'm trying
Not
to
at the
put
moment.
on
I'm
act.
talking about at the time.
But even though she said it in confessional, she still said it. She said it in the chat. She still put it out there.
And he
She didn't,
does it for people.
if somebody would have called her a crybaby because of that, she could have been like, yeah, I faked that. But if somebody would have said that to one of y'all two, then it becomes an argument. And I'm not a part of that group.
Because I wasn't faking.
Like argumentative. I'm
Because
just saying,
I wasn't faking. That's why it's an argument, because it's not they don't know what they're talking about. Because
I
I
don't
was
think you're faking either. I don't think you're faking either. But I'm just saying.
no, but I'm saying like it's not. The reason it became an argument is because I wasn't faking.
Okay, so we're gonna move on. Fake, real, doesn't matter. Crying is crying.
Doesn't
Great
matter.
TV,
Right.
Thank you for the. I enjoy the entertainment. So, all right. Congratulations to Nate. You end up winning a double elimination. You take out Imir and you take out Mike. I don't think it's a secret. You definitely are, besides Jared, I think top one or two physically dominating guys in the house. No shade to anyone. You'd be the last person I would want to go against in anything physical. So congratulations on that. I'm excited to see where you go from here in the game. As for Imir, I am sad to see you go. It sucks seeing you go. I won't even lie. Watching it back, like, on a personal level, we're friends. So watching it back and hearing your speech and like seeing you say your goodbyes and stuff like that, I think you should be very proud of yourself, regardless of everything that went down. I think you grew a lot from 18 to 19. I think it was your best performance. I think you gave it your all. Again, we could talk more about it off this, but the one thing I want to say to you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, the one thing I want to say to you as a viewer and as your friend is like, we've talked about this. I just want you to stand on your decisions, regardless of what any of these people say. As someone who's genuinely your friend, oh well. If you fuck up, if you make a decision, if you're the house target, if whatever the case may be, it is what it is. I think you're only getting better and better each season, and I think the same way you took the notes and the criticism from 18, if you take that and implement that moving forward, I think, like you said, you will get to a final. You could win.
No, yeah, like I'm learning more and more every season, and I do 100% stand by everything. Like I stand by now. I can only just go back to the drawing board and see whatever. But like, I am just a black man who wears his heart on his sleeve and unapologetically so, and I'm gonna keep being that and keep spreading Black boy joy the same. Like, joy isn't linear. Joy is a roller coaster, and it's not just always happiness, right? To channel your joy, you also have to be like in the valleys and depths of things, right? To really experience that true joy. And I've learned that I've come a long way in doing that. And these people don't know me. These people don't know my story. Like, Xavier doesn't know my story and doesn't know me, and we didn't really get to have that like connection but like if he really knew me, then he wouldn't like accuse me of having fake crying, right? So things like that. So I just want to say, like, I thank you all. I love the DNP community, and I just look forward to just any future season I'm part of.
So before we wrap up the episode recap, is there anything anyone else that I missed want to talk about in the episode? If not, I do want to get final words, what we think, what we should expect from each of you moving forward, who you're enjoying watching and who you're not enjoying watching. We also did get the mid-season trailer, so like let's talk about that in a sense of like, what should we expect from what we've seen in the mid-season trailer? I'll start with Imir. I know you just gave your final words. before you go, who has been your favorite and least favorite, or who are you rooting for? Who are you enjoying and watching, and etc.
No, like from a viewer standpoint, like I really like love May. I think that May is an amazing TV personality. She deserves to be on TV, on YouTube, off of YouTube, on MTV, CBS, wherever. She just is, and she was on 99 to Beat, so I can see exactly why they chose her. Like she's in just amazing personality. Like, and she is somebody like in those confessionals was the same like bombshell that she was like to play the game with. Definitely really really good TV, and I can't wait to see her like in future seasons. Um, as far as like the guys from like a friendship standpoint and a viewer standpoint, like I'm really rooting for like Nate, even though he beat me. Like Nate, like the other, like one of the other just like black men my age in the game, I always root for. Like it's just amazing to see how far he's come through because he was like one of the old like from my original season with me. So like I remember the days in the 17 house with him, and to see him like doing what he's doing now is amazing. So yeah,
I
and
appreciate you, bro.
of course, like it's all love. Like with me, like I don't. It's not like I get it, and I know moving forward we can like figure out strategy if we ever see the game again or whatever. And I think that people can't trust me in the future. But yeah, like I don't have anything negative to say about anybody, but I only want to like say great things. Like I'm really rooting for those people and just this whole season.
Thank you. So Big X, mid-season trailer. We see it. What should we expect? Favorite, least favorite, final words for tonight.
Yes. Well, mid-season trailer caught me throwing up. Embarrassing. But other than that, I mean, the one confessional I had in the mid-season trailer, I was saying that's the best move for you, whoever I was talking about. Just know that I'm fully going to stand behind the decisions that I want. And I'm not going to just let people walk all over me. So that's something you can expect from me. Other than that, I mean, the trailer showed so much madness, so much like argument, strategy. It was once again, we're still in a heat wave, so it was intense. So my favorite watching this episode, I say it would have to be um probably Clay or Nate. I really liked seeing because like Nate debuted before me, so I was like a fan. I'm still a fan, obviously, but I was a fan before I like debuted on the Caucus. So like watching Nate, I feel like Nate didn't really get that much like screen time on 17, and I'm really happy to like and even like 19, like he hasn't really gotten that much traction, but this episode was like a really good like representation for you. So like knowing you and like knowing that you got this episode and like you're like up on like people's rankings now, I'm really happy for you, man. Um and then girl, I would say has to be May as well. I really enjoy watching her. I'm so sad that um she got eliminated in this episode, but yeah, those are my two favorite.
And then we'll go with Nate. You're getting a lot of traction, so let's hear from you. Mid-season trailer, you've made the halfway mark. What should we expect without any spoilers? And who are you enjoying watching and who are you not enjoying watching?
As far as the mid-season trailer, it's a good trailer, by the way, but I don't know. I said I was gonna really come back in the house and really shake things up, but I feel like I'm in a good position right now. I feel like out of anybody in the house, the only person that would target me is Clay. So for me to go back and go too crazy about coming after everybody, I don't know if I'm really gonna take that route. But as far as who I'm really enjoying right now in the game, I gotta stick with my cousins. I like how Lachey's playing. I think she's the only rookie that hasn't been in yet, like at all. She hasn't been in. She hasn't been targeted. Like she has a little thing with Rachel going on, but like no one's actually about to say like Lachey's name. As far as the guys, I kind of like how Jared is playing because he's either winning or he's in a good position too. Like everybody was going after him to start the game, but now nobody's after him no more. If they are, they're not doing anything about it. So my least favorite, Clay. He's the only person that ever put me up in this game ever. So definitely Clay. Females, I don't know if I have a least favorite female. They're all cool. Yeah.
All right, thank you. And then we'll go to T. What should we expect from you? You've made the mid-season, you've made the halfway mark of the game. I know you've said like you want to lie, cheat, steal. This game's been hard. What should we expect from you without any spoilers? And as a viewer, who are you enjoying and or who is not your cup of tea?
I'm gonna say that first of all, no footage of May screaming at me is insanity. Just want to put that out there. For anybody who did not know and was not there, May screamed at me for about a half hour after she gets eliminated. It was gold TV. I think that should have been there somehow.
Oh, wait. No. What happened was I heard it from the field and I was pissed at my team for not getting it on camera because I was like, why were the cameras not up? Like, we know May is about to crash out. And then I heard about her yelling at you, but the only thing I did get on camera, which it didn't make sense to put in the episode because she's out, was a conversation you had with her and she was crying. And that's when you told her, like, I'm sorry, but like, I'll vote my own mom in. But at that point, she was already out. So it wouldn't have made sense in the episode.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that did happen. I just want to clear that up. What's to come? Well, I think you see a little bit to ping pong off of what I was saying to Big X. You see me crash out a little bit in the trailer because we all crash out and we're all a little bit of crybabies. So again, nothing personal, I swear. But yeah, I'm definitely getting to my wit's end of trying to be like, cool, calm, and collected. And I have a little bit of not so nice tea coming out in the future. And my favorites, I love Rachel. I think I would also cry like a fucking baby if I felt like nobody loved me. And it's clear that no one really loves her right now. I love you, Rachel. You were just an easy target. And then I love, I'm rooting for rookies here. So I love to watch Xavier. I think he's fun. I think his confessionals are really funny. He is so like New York. Like he reminds me of someone I went to like Lehman High School with, like brings me back to my days of high school. And I love Jared. Jared is a survivor and I'll always root for my survivors. So, and then Nate, I really enjoy watching Nate because he is so opposite of what everybody else is in this game. And he plays like I wish I could play, which is like actually keeping my cool. But there's only so many days in a week when it's 105 degrees that you can do that. Nate manages to do that. So mad respect to you, dude. And again, I just want to end by saying that these are games. We do them for fun. And like nothing that's being said is ever personal. Believe me, if I don't like you personally, you would know it. And it wouldn't come from me saying some shit on the DMP after show. So I love you all. And yeah.
Thank you. And all right. I think we heard from Nate, Big X. So the last two are Xavier and Zay. What should we expect from you guys have made the halfway mark. You guys, we got the trailer, no spoilers. Gotta emphasize that because Xavier, you be slipping up. And yeah, what should we expect? Who are you guys enjoying on the show, or who are you not enjoying on the show? And then we'll call it a night.
Wait, why did Amir leave? Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
His laptop died, he said.
And we're teachers and we have to work tomorrow.
Okay, but he could have waited for me to finish. But I'm not joking. But honestly, I was barely in the trailer. I don't know. Dre, I'm gonna kill you. But honestly, I feel like y'all have a lot. You're gonna see a lot of craziness coming up, and me going crazy, me having a mental breakdown. All of that. But yeah, I feel like you're gonna like it. And my favorite, I must say, is Rachel, just because me and Rachel were the main target. From the guys side, I'm gonna say Nate, because he took out Amir, which was Justice for Parker, and yeah, like that's from the guys. My least favorite. Wait. How did you say that?
He said your least favorite.
Okay,
Okay.
so from the guys, my favorite is you, I guess, and yeah,
You just said it
and
was
Nate, you guys, and then my least favorite from the girls, it gotta be. Yeah, who? I don't know. I like all the girls. They are cool. Wait. No, you go.
All right. So for the mid-season trailer, the only scene that I had was me explaining that my whole game is starting to spiral, and like I don't know what to do anymore. I feel like I'm losing myself a little bit, and I think people can see where trying to be loyal as best as you can takes you in the game, especially with the partners twist. You could only maybe be loyal for so long, or maybe loyalty gets me in a rut. You'll see. Going forward with that, I would say my favorite guy always gonna be Xavier first, of course. After that, something stuck out to me this episode. Nate, you're also my favorite. I'm glad that you got your win after how it went down for 17. But something you said on the episode stuck out to me, and I wish we got to talk about that when I was there. You said something about your grandpa's name or something on your arm. Yeah, I didn't know you were like close to him, or I didn't know anything from your past with that. So that stuck out to me a lot, and I wish we got to touch base on that because I would have never not that I have, but wanted to target you, or it would have been a different type of respect. So I respected that a lot, that you were playing with him on your mind, because I was playing for my mom the whole time. And I would say least favorite right now, no one's like really like my least favorite. I'm just say Jared, just because he was making fun of me for dragging me on that tire. So I'm just say Jared. And then for girls, I really like, even though Jerica's not getting much screen time, but I feel like Jerica, just because she's not getting screen time, she knows what she's doing. She's playing the game, and no one's really batting an eye at Jerica. She's the one that also eliminated Jordan and Rhea, and Jerica's not getting no smoke for that either. And I think she's playing a fabulous game. And then T, you're growing on me a little bit, girl. You were my least favorite. I'm not gonna lie to you, but after hearing you on the after show explaining your case about the whole survivor mindset, and I'm learning this, I see where you're coming from, and I think you really stay to who you are, confessionals and in the show. So I respect that a lot. So yeah, that's it.
Jerica didn't get no smoke because she didn't have an alliance or like someone that that was expecting us to save. So
and look at her still gliding by like nothing. So you gotta respect it.
So okay, so again, I want to wrap this up. I want to say thank you to everybody that joined tonight, all the players, the live chat, everybody that chatted with us. These after shows, the episodes, the group chats, they get spicy, but I do want to emphasize how much I appreciate you guys all willing to, address things. And, I'm a very big advocate on mental health. I know that this could be a little bit draining, but it is a game. And with that being said, although it is a game, certain things you got to stand on the things you say and how you move. And if you guys can do that and respect each other, that's all I ask for. Again, the tears, the arguments, the crashing out, the lying, cheating, stealing, the loyalty, it's what makes the show. If you all played the same way, it would be so boring. There would be no show. There would be no point of the episodes. So whether you agree with T, whether you agree with Nate, with Big X, Zay, Xavier, Amir, anybody, just know that you guys are putting on an amazing show, and you guys were all selected to play this game for a reason. Again, I appreciate you guys being here tonight. I look forward to seeing all of you guys competing after this midway point. And I know that the season is, we keep saying it, but it's just crazier and crazier and crazier. So make sure you guys are tuning in every Sunday for a new episode, every Monday for a recap. And we will talk soon, guys. Have a good night.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Night. No, T, don't log off. I have a question.
I want to hear it.